Welcome back to another episode of Memphis Made Me, where we dive into the stories, businesses, and creative minds that make Memphis so unique. Today, we're stepping into the world of fashion and entrepreneurship with Stash, the visionary behind the clothing brand Brain Dead. Known for its bold designs and streetwear influence, Brain Dead has been making waves and turning heads right here in the Bluff City. So let's learn some more about Stash's journey and how he's shaping the Memphis fashion scene.
All right, so let us know a little bit about your brand and what it stands for and how you came up with the name.
So my brand's called Brain Dead. What it's all about is, it's just about going against the grain, doing things your own way, going against the mainstream. It just got some unlawful energy to it, unlawful, that's my slogan. Yeah, it's pretty much just a way for me to express myself, Just let people know what I'm about, let people know my style, and just show the world something different.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes to designs, who is your favorite designer or favorite brand right now?
My biggest inspiration is a brand called FTP.
Okay.
Yeah. It's they kind of give off the same message, It's like, like rebellion and kind of just like going against mainstream. That's the biggest thing.
So when you say unlawful,
yeah.
What's some of the most unlawful, without saying too much, what's some of the most unlawful things that you do or have done?
Some of the most unlawful, I'm gonna be honest, I do a lot of trespassing. I have done a lot of trespassing. Like, that's kind of where the name Unlawful Skate come from, because, society kind of look at skateboarding as like a, illegal thing. You go different places and you see no skateboarding and, all that. So it's kind of, I just went unlawful skate, is what we do. We skate places when you're supposed to skate. We get up and,
So how long have you been into skateboarding?
It's really something I've been doing my whole life since I was a kid. Like,
okay.
I think I got my first skateboard when I was 11 years old. Yeah, in the neighborhood I grew up in, like, pretty much all the kids skated, so.
So let's talk about where you grew up. Tell us what part of the city you came from.
So originally I'm from the East, Hickory Hill to be exact. I started school out there, and once my parents got a little more money, we moved to Bartlett. So I kind of spent most of my time out there.
So
shout out to Raleigh too, though.
Shout out to Raleigh.
Shout out to Raleigh too, though. A lot of my day ones out there.
So is there anybody who inspired you to skate or start skating, or you just kind of like picked it up?
Yeah. My friends in the neighborhood. Okay. Yeah, it's also, I really got into it. It's skateboarding. It kind of been like an on and off thing. I got super into it when they opened up a skate park, like right by my house, Raleigh Skate Park. I met a lot of cool people up there. It's a strong community. Everybody push each other to do better, and so, just hanging out up there, I just kept getting more into it.
So before they had the skate park, where were you skating at? What's some of the spots in the city that you were skating at?
Anywhere I can. That's why we unlawful skate. We'll skate like parking lots, parking garages, churches, whatever. Like wherever we can get a board on, that's what we skating at.
You feel like the skate park brought a community of people together in Memphis that usually wouldn't, be able to find each other?
Definitely. Like it's like I found my tribe there for real. Like I met a lot of different people and, a lot of like-minded people, a lot of creative people. It's inspiring for what I do. That's really like, they really support me more than anybody else. Like, I love the skate community. Like, that's like family for real.
Yep. So, most people don't see skating as a hobby that, we just pick up and nothing like that. So how do you feel like that makes you different or stand out from, the norm? And how hard is it to be different from everybody else, but that's what you want to do, so you stick to it, being true to yourself?
For me, being different, I feel like this is just natural. I feel like that's what everybody should do, because we are different. It's just I feel like growing up where we grew up at, it's kind of like, I don't want to say looked down upon, but a lot of people kind of just go with what's popular, so that kind of like made me want to like show something different and be myself more,
Even with your clothes and your design, of course, it's gonna stand out. And so, have you seen anything like your brand that you like like we could collab, or anybody that you want to work with that you haven't worked with, or somebody that you feel inspired by?
Yeah. I'm actually rocking the collab right now. Shout out to my boy Juice. This is Brain Juice right here. This our latest drop.
Yeah, we did our thing with that. So but I really wanted to collab with all my friends. Like, I got a lot of friends that run their own brand. You know, that's kind of a big motivation for me too. But yeah, shout out to all my friends that got their own brand. I want to work with everybody.
So when you dropped your brand and you say you found your community, did you drop it to them first or show them the ideas at the skate park?
Yeah.
Or was they messing with it? Like, how they respond to it?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I actually kind of, like, when I started out, I really wanted to make stuff that me and my friends would want to wear. Like, I really make clothes for my friends, to be honest. Like, yeah. So
did you expect it to get as big as it is now, or you just thought like, oh, you know, maybe my friends will just support me? How did you feel when you saw like people saw your brand picking up traction?
When I first started, I really hit the ground running. Like, I had a lot of support behind me. Seeing people wearing it, like, that mean the world to me, for real. Like, you know, of course we want to make money, we gotta make money, but like, I'm not really in it for the money. Like, you know, the money gonna come. Like, I really just love people seeing people wearing my clothes, you know.
So do you feel like your support comes from like mostly people you know or strangers, or is it mixed? How do you feel like your support base is?
Yeah, you know, my friends support me. Yeah, my friends are my biggest supporters. You know, I'm blessed to have supportive family. You know, all my family wear my clothes. All my friends wear my clothes. You know, and I feel like this just come from, you know, just being in the community. You know, just being in the ground with it. You know, like, that's one of my biggest missions, is to like build a community with my brand. You know, like, if you see somebody wearing Brain Dead Unlawful, like, you'll know they got some type of connection to me. You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk about your designs and the culture that Memphis has already. Like, how does that inspire you, or what's your thought process or thinking process when it comes to a new design?
I take a lot of my inspiration from like old Memphis music. You know, like 3-6 Mafia. You know, they kind of had a dark style.
Yeah,
and,
I can see that for sure.
I take. So, you know, I kind of really just take from different places. You know, I'm into you know, different kind of music. I like rock music.
So who your favorite rock artist?
My favorite band is Green Day.
Okay.
Green Day,
What's your favorite song by them? You gotta tell us.
By Green Day, Basket Case.
Okay.
My favorite song by them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other artists that inspire your music too?
Any other artists that inspire my music? Yeah, you know what? Like, to be honest, when I go to make a new design, like, if I'm looking for like a spark, you know, I'll just go to the antique store, look at some records, you know, kind of take inspiration from the graphic, you know, just different things. I'm inspired by the world, really. Everything I see, like, you know, I take a screenshot of it in my mind and, you know, incorporate it into my brand.
So you talk about the antique store. Do you thrift?
Yeah. I do a lot of thrifting.
Okay,
Yeah,
I want to get into it. So give us some tips, like how you found your best pieces, or what the best. Well, don't give away your good spot, but you know, tell us a little something.
So I like old clothes mostly, like, you know, 90s t-shirts. You can the way I look for my stuff, like, I kind of look for like bold graphics. You know, stuff was just printed. It was different quality from now. Like, it was just, the clothes were just better back then. So when you see something from like the 80s, 90s era, you will know it like off top. But yeah, that's mostly what I look for. I like old clothes, yeah. And that's like another way that I kind of got started with what I'm doing now. I was really big into, you know, thrifting and, you know, just finding different stuff. And, you know, so vintage clothing is, that's a big part of my brand too. I kind of like to get that vintage feel with my clothes. Yeah.
Okay, so would you set up shop in a thrift store or something around the city?
Yeah. Y'all go check out Bad Timing Shop. Bad Timing Shop. I actually got these in there right now. Bad Timing, they you know, they deal with a lot of vintage clothes. They actually started out as like a straight up vintage store, but You know, they leveled up now, so shout out to them.
I gotta look them up right now.
Yeah, Bad Timing Shop. Yeah. They're my people.
What they got?
They got everything, designer, like.
I gotta look it
Yeah,
up.
I've been rocking with them since day one.
Hold on. Instagram.
Yup. Yeah, that's them right there. Bad Timing Shop. Yeah, shout out Bad Timing. Y'all go rock with them. There's a couple shops around that I wanna work with. Like I said, you know, I wanna work with everybody in the city. You know, I support all the shops. You know, I love clothes. I love streetwear. I love staying tapped into the different brands. So we got some good clothing stores out here in the city too. So you know, I love to work with all of them.
So with your brand and with you being in all these shops and having all these connections, how does Brain Dead plan to help the community or give back to their community with their brand or outside of that or just anything in the city?
You know, with my brand, I want to inspire people to start their own brand. Like, as far as that goes, like, you know, I said this before, like, I really don't see competition. I feel like it's something we all can do. Like, I feel like everybody should, you know, because I look at clothing brand as like showing people what's on your mind, really. You know, it's just another way of expression, and you know, I just feel like it's healthy to express yourself. So, you know, I always encourage people to start their own brand.
So let's give a message to the youth about staying true to yourself and just being inspired to, you know, you can be yourself. You don't
Stay
have to,
true.
Yeah.
Stay true. Be you.
Facts. And I want to talk about, let's get into how you would even help the youth. What message would you give, or what tips would you give to a young person who wanted to start their own business?
The first thing I would say to someone who want to start their own business, I would say, just tap into your roots. You know, think about what's really true to you, like things you've always been into, and you know, just put it together and paint the picture.
Oh, my bad. So I love that you don't just sell clothes, you sell ideas, and you said it's a way to express yourself. So what's one of the craziest conspiracy theories you ever heard? My bad. So I love that you don't just sell clothes, you sell ideas, and you said it's a way to express yourself. So what's one of the craziest conspiracy theories you've ever heard?
Conspiracy theories. I'm not really super big on the conspiracies, but I would say I am a spiritual person. Like I believe in things that we can't see. You know, so that's why a lot of times you'll see in a lot of my designs I'll have like halos and, you know, like crossbones, or, you know, like ghosts and, you know, skeletons and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, like I said, I'm just a spiritual person. I believe in stuff we can't see, like stuff that's not there, but like it's like things you can feel, you know, like I feel like when I look at people, like, you know, like some people I can see, you know, like a halo above their head, you know, like, or like, you know, somebody that got kind of like
the energy.
Yeah, dark energy.
Yeah,
you know, you'll see like some horns on their head,
yeah.
like, you know.
Like one time, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I saw somebody's face like change in front of me, and I'm like,
facts.
That's not. I've never at first I didn't believe in something like that until I saw it myself, but that's real. I feel like that's real.
Facts,
That's real.
So that's why you'll see it on my clothes a lot, cause like that's really like my brand is kind of like my reflection of like how I look at the world for real, like how I see people, how I see things, you know, the way I think. So, but really like I feel like a lot of conspiracy theories, I really don't feel like they conspiracy theories. I really believe like, you know.
So what's one of the ones you heard that you believe, like you absolutely 100% believe in, like nobody can tell you different?
Okay, one that I 100% believe in. It's kind of cliche, but you know, I believe in aliens, but I don't believe in like outer space aliens though. I feel like all the aliens underwater.
Ooh my God, yeah. Let's talk about it.
I feel like they all underwater, yeah.
So you feel like the Earth flat, or you feel like it's round? Get into that, then we'll go back to the aliens.
I feel like it's round. I feel like we live on a round planet, yeah.
All right, sure. So you believe so it's above, it's below. So what kind of aliens you think in the sea?
I don't know, like I feel like the Loch Ness Monster real.
I feel like that's real. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
That's real. But you know, we got Voodoo Village here in Memphis. You ever been to Voodoo Village?
Nah, I haven't. I heard some things about it.
I don't think I'm gonna go close to Voodoo Village, but I think it'll be cool to kind of learn more about the history and just kind of go, maybe drive past it.
Yeah, like, who are those people? Like,
yeah, like
you know?
where did this community come from? Like that's a whole different community within itself.
See, like with that, I don't really feel like it's what people make it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's just a group of, you know, spiritual people that kind of stay to themselves. You know, they really don't let too many outsiders in. So, and you know, when people can't get close to you, they gonna start coming up with, you know, different scenarios and, you know, try to paint you out to be you know, something that you not, you know, like. But yeah, Voodoo Village it does seem like an interesting place, like, but I don't know if I want to go there.
So with you being a young black male in Memphis and with the culture, with you being unlawful, have you ever been mistaken like for something that you're not?
All the time. See, I always had a dark style. Like I always like wearing black clothes and you know, wearing clothes with, like I said, crossbones, you know, like flames, you know, different type of stuff like that. You know, people would be like, that's weird, but you know, like to me, like if you really know me, like you know I'm not an evil person, you know, but like I said, like people will see something, if they don't really know you, you know, they'll kind of, you know, come up with assumptions first. But yeah, I definitely had a lot of like, they like, oh, he worship this and that.
Yeah, but, like you don't even know.
Yeah, you don't even know, but look, you know, even though I'm a spiritual person, I do believe in God too though, so, you know, I put that out there, you know. You know, I'm a religious and a spiritual person. You know, it's a reason for my designs. Like they all got a story behind it. Like everything means something to me. You know.
I like that. So while we on the topic of conspiracy theories, how you feel about they saying the CIA brought crack to the what they say they pushed the crack epidemic in the 80s.
Yeah.
So everybody in the 80s a crack baby.
Yeah.
I believe that, and you know what? Like I feel like they still doing that, but I feel like now they doing it with. Well, hold on, wait.
What you about to say?
I forgot. Like
they doing it with marijuana.
I feel like they doing it with guns. Like now, I know we
Where they just drop it. I mean, we can because we can tie it into another thing, the Memphis and the gun violence and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fentanyl too. Yeah, the fentanyl going around. So like, I feel like they doing it. I feel like they doing the same thing, but on a bigger scale. Though I feel like they doing it like it's like a harder impact now.
So do you feel like they going in? We said with guns and stuff. Do you feel like even in the Memphis community, like more gun violence going on? Like how these kids getting like their hands on these guns at such a young age? Like
I feel like they planting guns out here, like. Cause to be honest, like growing up, you know, they was, you know, you was seeing them, they was around, but it's like now I feel like it's like almost every kid you see, it's like too available.
Even
now.
the babies in the school, we just had some school shooters in Memphis. The kids brought guns to the school. Like, what are we gonna do to keep these kids safe from guns? Like, what are some ways you think Memphis can kind of crack down on it? Not even just Memphis, like anywhere.
Some ways Memphis can crack down on that. I feel like, you know, always, you know, like attractions and stuff like that, you know, that always helps, you know, stuff to do, you know, things like that. But I feel like they just need to be exposed to different things. You know, that's kind of why I try to like push skateboard into the, you know, younger crowd. You know, if you occupied, you know, with different type of hobbies, you wouldn't really be thinking to go, you know, grab a gun or do this and that.
So you think they need to be exposed to just different stuff around the culture instead of seeing just rappers and trappers and stuff like that? They need to see a broad spectrum of stuff. Yeah,
just go back to having fun and being kids, you know. I feel like social media play a part in that too. Like they just being exposed to too much at a young age.
But I also feel like we had more stuff to do. Well, I ain't gonna say more stuff. It was just a different time. Like we had a little bit more freedom. We didn't have to worry about so much. Like we could go outside with our friends, come back. Like you can't do that now. You go around the corner, it's a little 4-year-old outside, what they call them YNs outside. Excuse me, man. Nah, I'm going the other way. They got big Dracos hanging out their hands.
It's going on, yeah.
Nah.
But what I've noticed, like I said, from like being in the skate community, Like I'm a plug Later Skaters Memphis.
They really doing
They got
it.
Instagram too?
Yeah. Later Skaters Memphis.
Okay.
They doing a good job with hosting events, giving skateboards out. Like I've been seeing a lot more kids outside, pushing their skateboards and coming together having fun. So I feel like if we keep doing stuff like that, then things will get better.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna send the screen recording, and then we put that in there.
Yeah, Later Skaters Memphis.
And follow it.
Yeah.
So we shout them out. Facts.
Later Skaters Memphis. They do a lot of events. They do a lot of fundraisers, and I really feel like it's helping the community. Like, so if we just keep more of that going, then things will be looking up.
So if I set it up, would you be willing to do like a little workshop or something to teach kids how to skateboard, or teach them some tricks and tips, or even just showing them where they can get skateboards or other materials? Like, I know they wear the Vans most of the time. What else do you wear when you skateboard? What other kind of shoes?
See me, like I like the Nike Dunks. Sometimes I even skate in the J's. Like I skate in the Jordan 4s, Jordan 3s. Like like whatever shoes that's old, I got tired of wearing them. I'll be like, I'm finna skate these. Like,
yeah. So do you have a favorite skateboard, or you just kind of pick up where you can?
Favorite skateboard. I like to support the local shops. Like whenever I'm in a different city, I'll buy a shop board. As far as favorite skateboard, my favorite skateboard brand would probably be, I like Toy Machine. It's a pretty big brand. Yeah, I like their boards a lot. They cool. Mostly just the graphic. As far as like the actual board goes, it's pretty much all the same. But don't buy a board for Walmart though.
I had a skateboard from Walmart one time when I looked like the mini boards. I think it was a mini board. Terrible experience. I thought I wanted to learn to skateboard. Maybe I just had the wrong board.
Yeah,
maybe that's what it was.
No Walmart board. Hey, look, go to Zoomies if you can. That's the least you can do. Go buy a board from Zoomies.
I done had to get a skateboard and rolled under the car. I thought I was a cold little skateboard. I rolled clean under the car, no cap.
So this man said he rolled under the car. Do you have any tricks that you can do? You could possibly show this man.
Yeah, I'll show you something.
What's your favorite trick to do that you like? And then how long did it take you to learn it?
My favorite trick. My favorite trick that I probably could do like first try every time.
I got a few. Okay, so a trick that I can do every time, like first try, I say like a nollie shove it.
Okay, explain it. Tell. You got a video you doing or somebody else doing it?
Okay, I do got some videos, but I'll explain it to you though.
Okay.
So that'll be like, okay, so nollie, when you go in nollie, that means you doing the trick from the nose of the board, like from the front of the board. Okay. So like, you got the regular shove it, like when you shove you shove the board from the backside, but like a nollie shove is when you like shoving it from the nose of the board, like from the front of the board. So it's like, yeah.
But and then like my favorite trick would be a fakie big spin. So like,
you gotta explain that. So that sound crazy.
Yeah.
So fakie big spin is when you rolling backwards, right? Okay. So and then when you do the big spin, so a big spin is like when you turn it 180, but you doing a shove with it. You doing a shove it with it. So it's like,
so you kind of pushing it.
It's like you turn, you do a 180 turn, but you like pushing the board too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but that's my favorite trick though. Like, the trick look clean every time.
They just have like a gnarly biggie bag.
Skateboard tricks got some interesting names though. Yeah.
So if it was a trick that you could teach somebody, what would be the easiest, like the starter trick? What would be the easiest trick for somebody to start with, you think?
My ollie, you can't go wrong with the ollie. I feel like ollie is like a universal trick. Like even people that don't skate, like they know what an ollie is. Just to jump. Like, but they fun though. Like I feel like you can just like know an ollie and have fun skating. Like you really don't gotta even learn no other tricks. Like you can just jump over stuff. Like Yeah.
So you know in the movies how they go down the steps, you can do that on your skateboard?
Yeah. I can do that.
It might take me 100 tries. I might get a couple bruises, break a couple bones.
We gotta write a script. We got a skateboard in there and put stash in there.
I can hit some steps. I'm getting older, so I can't hit as many steps. But, I do a good 3, 4.
Mm-hmm. So who is your favorite skateboarder? I only know one skateboarder, and of course that's Tony Hawk.
My favorite skateboard, I got so many. I'll say like my favorite skateboarder right now. It's a black skater named Deshaun Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Like he tough. Like he like the LeBron of skateboard right now. Like he him.
So he skate in like different, what they call tournaments?
Yeah. X Games, Olympics, all that, like all the big stuff. Yeah, like
Even the big ramps, you can do those too?
Yeah. I hit some ramps,
way.
for sure. I hit some ramps, yeah.
No.
For sure, yeah.
What's the first thing you learned how to do when you started skateboarding?
The first thing I learned how to do was bomb hill. So that would be like I got like a big hill on my street, and so like what I do is I walk my board up to the top of the hill, and I just ride all the way down. Like I do that all day long. Like as a kid, like that was my favorite thing to do. Like before they put the skate park up, I just bomb hills. Like I still love doing that. Like yeah, that's the first thing I learned how to do was just just ride around, riding hills, and just push it.
Shop the brand first of all, before we get back into it.
Sir.
Hats available. One weekend. Beginner skater for chill, don't make too much. Don't do too much on my beginnerness. But you see when you first get up there, hey, teach some folks how to not fall.
Well, I'm gonna answer your first question. Yeah, it been many times I done failed. I really fall almost every time I skate. Cause like when you skate, it's kind of like a gamble. Like, you can learn tricks, but a lot of times when you do them, it's not like 100% like how it's gonna turn out. Like the smallest thing can happen, and it'll just throw your whole trick off. Like, next thing you flat on the ground. So, some things you can't control. Like you'll hit that one pebble and send you flying. You know what I'm saying? Like pebbles be your biggest enemy. Like you really can't do nothing about that. That's nature. But some ways to prevent it, I say just bend your knees, and pray. Bend your knees and pray. Hope everything go right. Like, that's all I can say. Skateboard, like I said, it's it's fun. Like I love doing it. But like I said, you gonna fall. Falling just a part of it. Like everybody gonna fall. Like even the best skaters fall. Like it just happened to everybody. It's just a part of it.
So
you don't get hurt.
Go shop the merch out. It's available.
Go shop the merch. Unlawful Skate, Brain Dead Unlawful.
Man, that is just too funny.
Link gonna be in the description.
Yes, sir.
About people thinking it's weird or something to skateboard. How do you deal with that? And do you put other people on skateboarding?
The best way I deal with it, I just hang around like-minded people. Like I don't really think about what the outside got to say because, I'm just focused on having a good time. It's always gonna be people that don't agree with certain things you're doing, but like me, like I never been a judgmental type. Like, the way I was raised, I was always taught to embrace every different type of person. So I know it's like some people that don't understand it, but once you step on the skateboard, like I'm sure you'll change your mind about it. Like it's real fun to do. I suggest everybody at least try it.
So what is it about skateboarding to make you feel like, okay, like this is my escape, like this will help me kind of get some stuff out? When you on the board, like especially like even just riding around is fun, but I feel like once you start getting into learning tricks, like when you learning tricks, you're not really gonna be thinking about other stuff that's going on in your life. All you focused on is how can I land this trick, and so like really like skating, it taught me to just push myself and
you know, just test my limits, you know, like even just in, you know, just in life in general, like even outside of skateboarding, like, you know, just, you know, when you fall, get back up, try again. You know, that you can apply that to, you know, whatever you're doing in life, whether it's music or, you know, clothes, you know, whatever you want to do. Like, you know, when you fall, you know, it might sting a little bit, but you know, you got to get back up and keep trying.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how you got to do
it.
it.
You be okay.
You know, and even like when you chasing goals, you know, people might look at it like, you know, like why he doing that? Like, you know, why he not trying to, you know, be this, or why he not going to school? But you know what you want in life, so you know that's what you go after.
But some people feel like if you're not keeping up with what's cool or what's, you know, in the season, you're not really doing the right thing or on the right path. Like they look at people doing different stuff as, oh, they not cool or they not on what we on. Like, but the whole time it's like I'm in my own lane. I'm doing what I think, you know, pop. Like to me, my life great. You know, like life good.
Yeah.
Life good. So how important is it to stay around like-minded people and just finding people that you know, have the same goals as you, trying to get to the same point? And was it ever a point where you feel like, or where you realize like, ooh, I'm around the wrong people, or how did you navigate that?
Yeah. Definitely. So to answer the first part, I feel like it's very important to, you know, hang around like-minded people, especially if you're trying to do something creative, because they gonna push you, and you know they'll give you ideas, and that's gonna contribute to what you're trying to do in life. And what was the second question?
Has there ever been a time where you feel like, ooh, I'm around the wrong people, or where you realize like I need to make better decisions about the people that I hang with?
Yeah.
Just being intentional about it.
See, one thing, like I always knew how to like if I got a lot of friends that kind of, you know, when we grew up, they went this way, I went that way, but you know, I just look at it like I can still be friends with that person without doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like at school, like I used to always get in trouble at school, like, you know, cause I was a good kid, but like a lot of my friends, like I had some friends that's bad kids. I had some friends that's like, you know, like nerds or whatever. And like, you know, when the teachers would see me with the bad kids, they'd be like, why you hanging around him? I'm like, you know, that's my friend. You know, I grew up with him. Like, you know, like he might be doing, you know, certain things, but that don't mean that's what I'm doing. You know, I'm not gonna stop talking to him just cause he's doing that. You know, I know how to do me. You know, you just gotta do you. Like you can't let other people like influence you. You know, with the wrong things. Like you just gotta know yourself. Really, it's just important to know yourself. That's why I'm pushing that message with my brand. Like, you know, just, you know, find who you are. You know, I feel like a lot of people like going to school like in Memphis and all that, like, you know, like checking a big thing, like, you know, everybody, you know, like, so it's like a lot of the kids growing up like real judgmental, you know, they're kind of like, I feel like that hold people back from, you know, being who they really are. But, you know, in reality, like, a lot of us are into different stuff. It's just we don't show it. You know what I'm saying?
Because we're scared what other people gonna say.
Yeah, we're scared what other people gonna think. But you know, it's a lot of great minds in the city. Like it's a lot of talented people in Memphis. It's just, you know, it ain't really like, you know, it's not really like, you know, it's not really encouraged. Like people not really encouraged to, you know, do them. It's just like, you know, a lot of people rather, you know, go along with what's popular, like you said. But you know, to me, I say, you know, you see everybody doing one thing, do the opposite. You know, that's what's gonna make you stand out. Like, you know, like you might feel like some people, you know, you might get discouraged. You know, you might feel like people ain't supporting it, but you know, I ain't gonna lie, like people really be seeing it. You'll be surprised who's watching you. So, you know, that's why you gotta just do you. Like, it's gonna be appreciated one day. It might not even be like from the people you're around. You just gotta find your tribe. Like, if people around you ain't supporting what you got going on, you know, go find your tribe, and you know, they'll motivate you.
So what is something you would like to see Memphis bring to the skater community to kind of incorporate that, you know, just for the culture?
Yeah, more parks for sure, and we need more skate shops. But shout out to Triple S. It's a new skate shop just opened in the city. Y'all go check them out. But yeah, just you know, building the community, more parks, more shops. Yeah.
So let's get into Memphis, man. What's your favorite Memphis song, either right now or like all time from back in the day? What's your favorite Memphis song?
Man, my favorite Memphis song, you know, it's a lot of legends. You know, like I mess with everybody. Like it's a lot of legends, you know. But like I said, like I'm a real big 3-6 Mafia fan. So, you know, I say my favorite Memphis song. That's a tough one. You know, Memphis a music city. You know, like,
it's tough.
It's a lot of music.
Or
there.
it don't even have to be a song. Favorite Memphis artist or group, however you want to put it.
Favorite Memphis group. Yeah, I say like I like new and old. So you know, like I said, like I like Project Pat, Skinny Pimp, Player Fly. I say Player Fly like my number one. Like,
Player Fly used to have me like nobody needs nobody.
You know what? Crowning Me by Player Fly. That's the best Memphis song. That's the best. It ain't even on Apple Music no more.
Yep.
That's the best Memphis song.
Right about
yeah, I give it to Player Fly, Crowning Me. Yeah. We'll go with that.
So what's your favorite Memphis spot? It could be a restaurant, just a place to like chill at. Other than the skate park, you can't say the skate park.
My
It
favorite.
could be a landmark, it could be a building, it could be a restaurant.
Man, I don't want to get too much sauce on the restaurant.
Or your favorite food you gotta get when you touch down in the city.
Hey, look, but I say shout out to Southern Hands though. They fire. I miss the Southern Hands.
Okay.
You know? But like I feel like a place people should go when they come here. I feel like Crosstown Concourse, that's a cool spot. You heard of that?
Yeah, I know Crosstown.
That's a cool place. You know, go to Crosstown. I like chilling at Tom Lee Park a lot. You know, they just you know, upgraded or whatever. So, you know, that's a nice spot.
I already know he finna say he wanted to add
Well, what you got? You got some places too?
Man, you know you gotta say the Dixie Queen. Hey, yeah, let me start over. Dixie Queen, we ain't just talking about any Dixie Queen. If you know, you know what you know.
Right, anytime on the day.
What Dixie Queen you not going to?
Man, which one I'm not going to? I ain't even gonna lie, it's only one that I do go to.
Which one?
I only
Go to the one on Austin P.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't really go to no other. I know it's other Dixie Queens around, but I ain't gonna lie, the one on Austin P hit every time. The one on
They never did me wrong.
the one in Fraser cool too though. The one on Overton Crossing, that's the joint too. But yeah, for sure Dixie Queen. Like you come to the city, you gotta go Dixie Queen for sure. Like Dixie Queen stamp.
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
that's a spot. Yeah, yeah. You know, the barbecue place is good too. You know, you got I like what's that barbecue place I like? One and Only. They pretty good. Yeah, One and Only 5. I like Tops. You know, Tops Hidden. That's like a like Memphis spot too, right? I think
Tops.
Tops.
Thanks.
Yeah. Tops a good spot. Yeah. But you know, you really can't go wrong with the food in Memphis. Like that's one thing we got. Like we got it with the food. Like almost every spot you go to is gonna be fire. Like you gonna see something. You gonna find something you like in there. So
Facts.
yeah. So yeah, shout out to all the food spots in Memphis.
So with you having your own clothing brand considered a small business, with small business in Memphis, how challenging has that been to get this off the ground and keep pushing?
Like really, like I'm really taking the slow route right now. You know, I'm not really too big. I'm not really too much of in a rush to, you know, go straight to the top. Like I kind of want to just, you know, let people know what I'm about. Like, you know, just build the community and it'll get there. You know, like I'm really just, you know, I just like being in touch with the people. You know, just being in the community and, you know, seeing people faces and, you know, seeing people reaction to the clothes, you know, like wearing it and all that.
So what's been your favorite moment with your clothing brand and your either a reaction or a comment somebody made, or what's been your favorite moment?
My favorite moment, my proudest moment was this last collab, you know, what I got on. You know, the Brain Dead Real Juice collab, like, you know, it was really a big thing for me because I feel like, you know, like just us bringing our brands together, it kind of brought in more people that like, you know, cause you know Juice doing his thing, but he kind of like an underground type brand too. But I feel like when we collab, we kind of shook things up a little bit, cause it's like it's a different style from what you normally see in the city, you know, like. So like once we did that, like people like, oh, like I feel like it got like a lot of eyes on both of us, you know, once we collab. So, but yeah, the Brain Dead Real Juice collab, That's my favorite moment so far. That's the first time I did my first real photo shoot. But I try to, like, I feel like with every drop I'm getting better. Like, that's really what keep me going. Like, just doing different things and testing out different designs and like that's really what make me happy for real. Just creating. Like, I enjoy every moment of it. Like, every day. Every day it's a good moment, like, I'm like, that was a good moment.
Feel
like,
good, yeah.
like just seeing it make me feel good. Like, I really love what I do for real. Like clothes is my passion. Like, even before I was making clothes, like, I just always love seeing different brands.
Just putting it on.
Yeah, putting it on.
Yeah,
like,
you was putting it on.
I ain't want to wear nothing that nobody else was wearing. Like, I'm like, okay, I find a brand people start wearing. I'm like, all right, what's the next brand? Like, what else going on? Like, and I try to look for brands that's like, like just starting off. I'm real big on the underground, and that's why I always encourage people to start their own brand. I tell them, like, hey, bro, when you start your brand, I'm gonna buy it. Like, cause I just like to wear stuff people don't wear. I just, I love clothes. Like, I wear anything. I put whatever together. Like, that's why I buy a lot of my clothes in Goodwill. Like, I just like putting fits together. Like, it really don't matter.
I like that. So, with you collabing with another young clothing brand owner here in Memphis, do you feel like more stuff like that should go on to give the people kind of, Memphis kind of got a negative ring to it with people that's outside, like, oh, they don't help each other, da-da-da. Well, we from the city, you know what's going on. You know what's going on.
I know what they say, yeah, that's what they say, but I feel like it's super important. Like I said, there's a lot of talented people in the city. Like, I feel like if we was able to come together, we would just be unstoppable. Like, everybody, a lot of folks in the city be fresh. Like, a lot of folks in the city got brands.
The city really inspire everybody. Memphis is the blueprint. We're just gonna say that. Memphis is the blueprint for a lot of stuff.
It's plenty of motion out here. Like, but it's like, like you said, like, people really kind of just try to, just keep it to themselves or whatever, but. Yeah, like, I want to collab with everybody. Like, anybody, I don't care if you popping, I don't care if you just started your brand yesterday. Like, I'm collabing. Like, we can work together. Like, I feel like it's always better with a team. I'm a one-man army as far as my brand go. But like, if anybody wanna collab, like, we can do it, bro. Like, I'm not against building a team. Like, I feel like it's important. Like, building a community. Like,
we might have a Memphis Made Me and Brain Dead collab.
Why not? We gotta build it. Like, hey, tell you, any brand, let's work. Like,
I might have to get in the booth.
I'm working with anybody. Like, and even when when my brand get big and blow up, like, I'm still collabing. Like, cause I feel like collabs, it just help both sides. Like, my people will see your stuff and your people gonna see my stuff. So, like, why not collab? Especially if it's two brands with like a similar message or a similar style. Like, it's only gonna make it better.
Yep.
Yeah. So, collabs is important. Everybody, we gotta work together.
Yep. So, with collabing and networking, what's been your best piece of advice or your favorite piece of advice from anybody that you collab with, or even just people that you've talked to that inspire you or something?
I feel like, just be a people person. Learn how to talk to people. Learn how to. I ain't saying like you gotta, be best friends with everybody, but if you see somebody, you like what they got going on. Okay. Yeah. But if you see somebody, you like what they got going on, just let them know, it's always worth a shot, just let them know, bro. We should work together. Yeah.
So do you feel like you could just walk up to anybody and be like, oh, let's collab? Or how you feel like people should go about their process? Like, if somebody want to collab with you, what should they do?
Well, me,
I don't really just always walk up to people and tell them I want to collab, but I for sure don't have a problem with letting somebody know. At the same time, though, people be busy or whatever, you know. But as far as like my friends, like people that I talk to on a regular basis, yeah, I gotta get something going with all of them for sure. Like we gotta do that.
So with the name Brain Dead, let's talk about how you came up with that and what was the creative process behind it.
Coming up with the name Brain Dead, to be honest, like when I first started it, you know, like I said, I got talented friends, so like a few of my closest friends, they rap. So when I started Brain Dead, it was really supposed to be like a record label type of thing. You know, I already had the Instagram account made. Like I just thought of, cause like I like to like when I get bored, I just like test out Instagram names to see if they taken already.
Yeah.
And so like,
so that's a little weird thing.
Yeah, it's just like something I do. Like I just like try different Instagram names and like just make the account and like I never use it, but I just so happen to have Brain Dead in there already, and you know, I was like I'm gonna explain to y'all the name too. So I got the name from you know, Brain Dead. That's kind of really like, I don't know. That's kind of like it's kind of like the state of mind I be in for real. Like, you know, I just be in my own world really. You know, like it's just like I got my own way of thinking, and you know, so I was just like, you know, we Brain Dead, and I took the beat and turned it into a 9. You know, we live in the 9. You know, we in the 901. So I'm like, hey, we Brain Dead in Memphis. Like we Brain Dead in the 9. So you know, that's where I got that from. But yeah, it was really originally an Instagram account that was, you know, made for music, you know, for a record label. But, you know, one of my homies, my homie Quinn, he was like, bro, we need some merch for it. You know, it was really like, not even just him, like, really like a lot of my friends, like, they was like, bro, like, you know, you got the style for it. So, you know, you should start a brand, you should make some merch. And, you know, I already had the Brain Dead page. I liked the name, so I was like, you know what? We just gonna go with that. I'm gonna call it Brain Dead. And yeah, like it really like it just turned into this whole thing. It's like it's kind of like now like I'm speaking my own language with it. Like, you know, like I got the Brain Dead, I got the Unlawful. Like you won't really see like the same designs too much. Like I like to, you know, I just like to, like I said, I'm speaking my own language with it, so you'll see different stuff, but you know, it's all the same message though. It's all Brain Dead, it's all unlawful. Like, you know, it's just me really. It's just me. I'm Brain Dead. You know, I'm unlawful, living unlawful. You know, living life the way I see it. You know, I got my own. You know, it's like we got our own government. You know, it's just the way of living. You know. Brain Dead Unlawful for real, like.
So it's good to hear that the local, you know, fellow Memphians have been supporting your brand. So how do you stay connected with your customers, and like how do you keep them engaged with the brand?
Really, I just talk to people every day. You know, like I even go as far as asking people, like, you know, like a lot of people that shop like consistently, I'll send them something, be like, hey bro, you mess with this, like, you know, like I treat everybody like, you know, cause a lot of my customers are my friends, so, you know, like I just, you know, try to stay tapped in to what they got going, and, you know, just stay in touch with people. Like that's why I like pulling up on people, you know, like when they buy something, you know, if I can, you know, if they close enough, I like pulling up on people. I'll even stay and chop it up with them for a little bit, you know, give them some tips or whatever, or talk about life, like, you know, like. I just, you know, I use my brand as a way to connect with people and, you know, bring other people together. Like I said in the beginning, like if, you know, I'm still kind of small right now, so if you see somebody wearing a Brain Dead shirt, hoodie, whatever, you like, oh, you know Josh too, and then you know, like they'll build a relationship off of that. So yeah.
So let's do your social media. Let's do Instagram, Facebook, whatever else you got. Okay. Well, I don't know if you want to tell them where you be. But.
Okay, yeah. But Stashboard 901 at Brain Dead with a 9. If you want to hit me up on Facebook, that's cool too. You know, you can hit me up, Josh Thurman. You know, that's my real name. But yeah, pretty much it is where you can find me. But I be outside every day. You know, y'all can see me. Any given moment.
Well, I don't know if you want to tell them where you be, but
where I be, I'm always on Austin P, like I said. You know, I'm always, you know, Raleigh, Bartlett area. That's kind of where I be at. That's kind of like my main, you know, my stomping grounds or whatever. You'll see me out there. But yeah, I just be around, like, you know, like you know, you never know when you'll see me. I pop up, like, you know, I be here. I try to go to all the events, like, you know, like I be on the ground with it. You know, y'all see me. You know, I hope to run into you. You know.
Yep. So y'all make sure y'all check out Brain Dead and make sure you you support local by rocking some Memphis Made style, y'all. So thank you for being a part of Memphis Made Me, and Memphis Made Me a podcast host, y'all. And Memphis made him
Stash, Brain Dead. Memphis made me Brain Dead. That's what it made me. Hey, let me shout out a couple of my guys too. Shout out to Real Juice for sure. Shout out to TMO. Yeah, shout out my boy Chris. He was a big part of me. He was a big part of this. Like, he really helped me a lot in the beginning. I met him at the skate park, and we became like real close after that. Like, we were just like minds, and you know, he really gave me that push. So shout out to TMO. Shout out to Love Me or Leave Me. Shout out to my boy Josh Brigman. Shout out to War with Self. You know, just all the Memphis brands. Like, shout out to all the Memphis brands. Like, keep it going. Start you a brand. Like, collab. You know, connect with friends. Do all that. Like, you know, we gotta keep it pushing. You know, for real.
All right, y'all ready?
as ready as I'll ever
Let's
be.
go. 1, 2, 3.
I was reading 2 lines at one time. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I was reading 2 lines at one time. So let's get into it. Let's talk about your brand for the people who may or may not know what it's all about and how you came up with it.
All right, so my brand is called Brain Dead. Brain Dead is kind of, it's a, hold on, let me start over.
Yeah. Da-da-da-da, might not know, boom, put it in. You want to stop or keep rolling? We done messed up about 4 times, ain't nobody.
Cut.
All right,
Oh,
cool.
my bad.
Cut.
Oh, my bad.
Let's do a stop. Shop the brand first of all. Before we get into
And see, I ain't gonna lie, light Wait, okay.
I ain't walking into no camera. I'm not walking. I ain't walking into no camera. I'm not walking.
I forgot the second question you asked.
I forgot the second question that I asked.
My bad, I brought 4.
No, oh, wait, you said.
What else I said, D?
Wait, no, you said, have I ever been.
Oh, have you ever? Oh, okay, come on. We can catch it back up.
Okay.
So do you? Memphis Made, y'all.
Memphis
Go
made
get y'all
it.
merch, man.
Memphis. The most beautiful land.
No cap.
The most beautiful.
Facts.
The most beautiful.